how to play with the data, what prompt has to be given, if let
Yes,
AI answer you. So
right.
these are where human intelligence works.
Change is something which is constantly happening, and if we don't be ready to accept it, if we don't innovate, we will be actually obsolete. I think it is more challenging for the teachers today because any topic that you talk about in the class, children are there, and now if they have their digital
Devices.
equipments with them, they're going to check immediately. So they knew, they were the ones teaching us, right?
So if we say, we can just sum up that collaboration today is not just doing group projects in the class, it's more of living collaboration
It is a
between AI and
collaboration.
human. Welcome to the first episode of Beyond the Bells. Beyond the Bells is an initiative by Newsepick where we bring forward the aspects in education not covered in curriculum, yet are an integral part of learning and shaping the young minds. In this episode, we will be looking forward into discussing Together We Learn, where collaboration is about way of being, not just working together. In this context, today we have Ma'am Paromita Guha Roy. I welcome you, ma'am, to this episode. She is the principal of APJ School, Park Street, Kolkata. With over 35 years of experience, she brings forward a wealth of insight. MSc and B.Ed in geography, she believes that education is a culture of care. She has been a firm believer that students should be given an opportunity to express and each one should be heard so that their vision is brought forward and each student given individual attention in their upliftment. We welcome you, ma'am, to this episode.
Thank you so much. It's absolute an honor for me to be here when you're starting off this wonderful journey. And I'm apprehensive at the same time, very excited to be part of it. Thank you
Thank you.
so much for having me.
So, ma'am, you have been always an appreciator of innovation.
Yes. So, thing is that my subject, which is geography, it involves a change all the time. For example, the mountains, what we had known to be the Angara land over a period of time changed to plate tectonics. So change is something which is constantly happening, and if we don't be ready to accept it, if we don't innovate, we will be actually obsolete. So always been a firm believer that the new things that's happening around us, that is something which we need to imbibe, which we need to be part of. Always been a believer of that.
So, your journey with APJ School has been more than 14 years with the same
It's been
school.
more than, it's my 30th year in this school.
In the same
In
school.
the same school.
Okay.
I had a short stint with Patobhavan, which, in today's term was my internship. And it's my alma mater. So I learned a lot. And in Patobhavan, the reason why I believe in innovation is because of my upbringing in Patobhavan. Because I remember when we were in the junior section, we used to be given, now we have dough, the clay dough and other things with which children they play. So we used to be given actual mud, and we used to look forward to that particular hour when we would create all kinds of things which would not make sense. But every time we did something new, we had programs like which every vacation ended with something called Shahitya Shopa, where each and every child was allowed to express themselves. That's what where the belief in expression of children and listening to the children and being friends with the children was so important for me all my life, having grown up with the teachers of Patovan.
Okay. So, ma'am, you have been a student in your starting days. Then you became a teacher. Then your journey from a HOD to vice principal to principal. You have seen a quite shift from the
Huge
way you were
paradigm
student.
shift.
Yes.
Huge paradigm shift. So it used to be a very teacher centric thing, which has completely changed. It's child centric now. Not only that, when it comes to decision makers, I have seen, my mother used to be she was also an educator. She was a headmistress of a government school. During her times, and even in my early years, it was like a decision taken from the higher authority, and it's passed on. It's not anymore. It is more egalitarian, it is more cooperative, it is more participatory. Because now, when I am planning something, it is not me, it is my team. So I give them an idea, I ask them to work on it, and then come back with their ideas. And then we can obviously have it, changed, have it refined wherever the necessity is. So today's uh, even the teachers today, they are exceptionally bright. It is a difficulty to find good teachers, which all my colleagues will agree that you take almost 6 months to get a good teacher. But and I wait for them to come and join the school, and I'm very happy that right now in APJ there are more of younger ones and less of us who are in their uh, past 50s and in the process of moving out. But I'm happy to think that I will be able to pass on the baton to a younger lot of teachers who are exciting, who are excited to learn and excited to collaborate. If you walk into my office, you will always find a group of teachers, and they are handling different things. We have an events group, we have grooming people, we have technology people. So all of these are separate groups of teachers. You won't find them repeated, and because we have found each of them have their own skills, it is very important to identify those skills. So when you start identifying those skills in teachers, it automatically goes into the students. In our school, what we do is that all class teachers, we have the name list, parents name, and all of that. Along with that, we maintain, it is not essentially that we ask that, but we find out from the various activities that we do that this child is good at playing a guitar or good at beatbox. I have two students who are wonderful with beatbox. Wherever they go, they're winning prizes. So these are new things which have come up. Ukulele, all of this, these were not there. Perhaps a guitar was there, but then these are things which have come in new, and these are all innovations as a part of the pedagogy. It is not limited to. It is not limited to book. It is not anymore, chalk and duster. Not at all.
So, when we talk about today's learning, or if you talk about the NAP 2020 policy, everywhere they are talking about collaboration in schools,
Absolutely.
going beyond the textbooks, then going and relating children with the real world impacts. So, how do you think that in your day to day school activities, how are children and teachers able to manage that? And how do you ensure that they are learning the real world challenges?
The real world challenge that we all faced was COVID, and it brought in a paradigm shift to the learning process. So, collaboration happened at that point of time only because many of us, I think most of us in the teaching fraternity, we were not using the various tools, that is, the technological tools at that point of time. Why I'm saying the collaboration happened? Because we found that when we were taking online classes, we were asking help from the children because they were more aware. They were much more technologically advanced. So they knew, they were the ones teaching us, right? And during that period of time, we created a particular, during the COVID period, we gave a particular prize to a child who was perhaps helping the most in the class. So we appreciated them that way. So what we find is that collaboration is a way of life now. For example, we are talking about collaboration in classroom, in our way of life. Yesterday, I watched a beautiful video. In one of the amusement parks, I don't know where it was there. It came as a video to me. We have those, I don't know the names. We have people seated in one place, and the chair goes round and round. It was going at a particular pace. Suddenly, it started taking, attraction. It started moving faster, which was very dangerous. What was happening is that the entire frame, which was holding onto it, started vibrating. And suddenly, from nowhere, there were about 4, 5 people who just walked in, ran up to the frame, and held onto it. And immediately, there were 50 other people who came and held onto it. And then the vibration stopped and the pace slowed down. I saw an immediate collaboration where there was nothing like, there was no orientation, there was no instructions given. It came naturally. So when I talk about collaboration, I talk about nature's collaboration, the hydrological cycle. As a teacher, when I teach them, it is collaboration. Because there is land, there is river. Because there is river, there is evaporation. And because there is evaporation, water is coming back to us. So we see this kind of collaboration in mutualism, in the pollen transfer everywhere. So while teaching the students about all of this, what our teachers today do is that we have started a process of digitization in our school, wherein bring your own device. So they bring in their own device, but not everyone. So suppose a laptop or a tablet is brought by children, they are doing a quiz which is being conducted by the teacher, and immediately, they are immediately able to see the marks that they're getting, which group is winning, or they're doing a project together. Right now we are into our science week, right, which will be followed by a science exhibition. You will see a lot of cooperation. Every time you visit one of the laboratories, you will find 10 children working on something. So we are not restricting ourselves, and it's not only about APJ. I think schools around the world, they are not restricting themselves to the textbooks anymore. One has to go beyond it. Textbook is the last thing. Children will go back to it to write their answers. In fact, if you do it properly, if you are able to test your child at the end of the period, in the last 10 minutes, they have already studied the entire chapter or the portion that you have covered that day. So collaboration is a way of life in school.
So now, when we are talking about digitalization in school, adopting digital tools and all, we say smart schools,
Mm.
and then we can say smart tools. So, how do you interpret this smart school and smart tools?
See, smart school, if just because you have a few smart boards in school doesn't make you a smart school. It is how you're utilizing them. So it started when, as once again, I will go back to those scary days of COVID. It is then we started with, Google Doc, Google Meet, Google, uh, the Teams, all of this. We now, for example, if we want to have a meeting with the students or with my colleagues, we can have it over the virtual platforms. There are days when it's raining heavy, right? The teachers are not able to make it to school, the students are not able to make it to school, or there are some political rallies. The learning doesn't stop, because our teachers are equipped with their own content. They're equipped to take classes. So if you walk into a classroom at that point of time, you will find teachers are using their own devices. They're showing their PPTs. They have multiple modes of using that they're using to teach them. Even the students at that point of time, they're also using their own devices. So chatbots, then Kahoot, all these are being used. Canva is definitely used for everything that that we are creating. Our The creative team is always using the Canva. So all our teachers have undergone, one we had 10 hours of rigorous training, and then followed by 3 hours of Canva training for the teachers to be equipped. Main thing about making the school a smart school, right, using the smart tool, is to equip the people who are around you. And where that starts right from the school office to the principal, everyone will have to know. I was one using the laptop perhaps, but I cannot imagine myself working without the laptop today. So that has been the change. All my departmental heads, all the coordinators, the various rungs of leaders that we have, everyone is provided with a laptop.
So, did you face a challenge while incorporating into this digital world? And there might be a generation gap between the legacy teachers and the modern teachers. Whether there, how challenging it was for you to match up to their
So for
expectations.
we couldn't do without it. And the most surprising thing is that you will find the senior most teachers are the most eager learners, right? So they will come back. For example, this Canva workshop that I'm talking about, it was taken by one of the teachers. She's fantastic at it. She's our IT head, right? Technology, innovation, whatever happens, it happens through her. So the teachers came and told me, ma'am, we need a rigorous, training in Canva. So that included even the senior most teacher who's going to retire in a few months' time. To the younger ones don't need it actually. They all know. They are the ones making reels and everyone. That's what I am saying, that in our school the content that we are using is all created by the teachers. We don't have any external agency, right? So digitization is like something which we are doing it in a big way. This is our 50th year. APJ Park Street turns 50. Right. So that's why I think digitization is one of the key things that we want to bring in to the children. And children are very, very happy. You will find every other classroom, children have their laptops with them and they take care of it.
Okay. So from which class do you allow them to bring their devices?
Class 8.
Class.
Class 8 onwards. Gradually, we are planning to go up to class 7, 6. We are doing it very gradually. We started from class 12 onwards. So, there are, we have mass media. For example, their practicals, they always do it with their laptops.
So any challenges you face from parents if you're asking them to bring digital?
As of now, no, because most of the senior students that who have, and it is not that we have told that everyone will have to bring.
Okay.
So I've made it like we made a group of five, one. So if that group is working again, in one laptop they're doing it, and then they go back and then they connect with each other. So it is not that everyone will have to bring in.
So parents do not complain about the screen time or anything as such
That they
today.
do, that they do. But then again, when we are able to allow the children to bring their laptops, what happens is that one more complaint besides the screen time is the heaviness of the bag. That also reduces. So definitely, when they talk about screen time, and which they agree with me that if the children are telling you that after 11 o'clock in the night they are studying, they're not. They're into other things. So at that point of time, take it away from them. It's difficult. But then, I believe as stakeholders, bringing up a child it's like a collaboration between the parents and the teachers and the school, right? So fortunately for me, most of the parents have been very, very cooperative in whatever changes that we have brought in. And it is not that, again, it is not that we just tell them that we are bringing in this change. We always have parents. We have, as you know, each school has a managing committee where we have parents. We have a PTA where we have regular meetings with the parents. We welcome parents to learning walks. They are allowed to go to each and every corner of the school and give us a feedback. So all of this actually makes us not only responsible and accountable, also the parents feel they're part of the journey and they're happy about it.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
very good approach from your end.
Yes.
And this makes an inclusivity.
Absolutely.
Because parents get involved, then they also understand why the change is coming.
Definitely. And many of the parents are very young, a lot of parents, and they are very happy about it because they are all tech people.
So it's about just changing the screen time to a valuable positive screen time.
Absolutely.
That's we can say.
Yes, absolutely. And since you talk about inclusion, um, our school is an inclusive school in the sense that we have children with special needs, and it is a mandate which is given from the Supreme Court. And if you look at you talked about NEP, there are two chapters which are devoted to special education in NEP. But unfortunately, many of the schools are not following in. Most of the schools are not around the country. So, collaboration, I've seen effectiveness of collaboration when when you form a group of say five and you have one child who has learning difficulties, others are going to egg them on to finish their work. So, someone who was not able to complete the work will be helped by others. Peer learning happens, right? And they also bond. Many a times, these children are very, very reclusive. They do not easily communicate. But this bonding happens when we have this kind of collaborative
And their
setup.
life also transforms
Yes,
in a
yes.
way when they.
And in the junior school, our setup is not like one desk after the other. It is a circle, right? They sit facing each other, and we keep on changing so that their necks are not a problem. So we keep on changing. So that kind of things that we have been able to bring into school have has actually helped completely change the mindset of the people. For collaboration, the main thing was changing the mindset of the people, right? How what used to happen earlier is not something which is, I'm not saying relevant, everything remains relevant, but how you improve upon it, how you change it, and how you make it more time friendly. That is the thing.
So, ma'am, you have been also believing that we should listen to the childrens before we
Yes,
advise them.
definitely.
So now, if in on an average, if we see a classroom, it's a ratio of 1:30. So how do you ensure that that learning and the mentorship or listening to the every child's need, because it's not possible for a teacher to listen to every aspect of a child.
You mentioned the word mentorship. So, what we do in our school is that the class teacher is there, the coordinator is there. Beyond that, there are subject teachers. Not every teacher is a class teacher. So, the subject teachers become mentor teachers, right? So, and many, obviously the school have counselors and others, and there are students who bond with certain teachers. My junior school coordinator, the kindergarten coordinator, the class 11s run up to her, the class 12s run up to her. So, it is not about who the class teacher is all the time. It's how you the bond happens, and we ensure that the class teacher having so much of responsibility of marks and other things, when it comes to their mental needs, we have the other teachers mentoring them. So that way, everyone gets to know at least 5 or 10 of the children, what's happening with them, why suddenly the marks are coming down. Is there a problem at home? Is there a learning gap? So we try to find out.
Okay, so it's a way of collaboration.
Absolutely. It is a collaboration between the teachers, amongst the students and teachers. So today's time, the collaboration has to happen between all the stakeholders. We have my collaboration is my, with my teachers as well as with the management. So whatever their view, whatever their vision is, it is my responsibility to pass it on to them. When I pass it on to the teachers, teachers take it forward with the students, and that includes the parents, that includes everyone that is there within that framework.
So when we talk about say class 3, 4 children and you have till 11, 12
12.
children and all. So children's in higher classes, they can also be a very good mentor for the junior
Yes, of
sections.
course, of
So, is
course.
there any process that is inbuilt in the structure where these children also can collaborate with the smaller
The
children,
first thing that happens
interest
is that,
groups?
this kind of collaboration happens with the council members. They immediately take to them because they are going into their classes, they're traveling with them in their school buses. We have kindergarten buddies also, class 9 children going to them.
Okay.
We often have, we've just started with it because this was something which we felt could be a good way of bonding. Is that, when someone is very good in academics, we sometimes ask them to help children in the junior section. One other way of coming close to one another, collaboration is all about building relationships, fostering, friendship, then having trust with each other, is the clubs,
Yeah.
right? So when they go for clubs, and they have their houses, the various houses, the various tournaments, during the inter-house carom tournament, or during the inter-house chess tournament, during the inter-house cricket tournament, or even during the annual sports, we see the bonding between from right from class 3 to class 12, everyone is cheering from every other person who's running. So that is one way of collaborating, definitely. And because our school is not too big, it doesn't have too big a space, they're constantly running into each other. So, for me and my teachers, we know the names of the children, right? So we know that, this child is doing okay. The moment a name comes to me, like, okay, this one I know, he does this. Beyond the books, always beyond the books, because for me, I'm not teaching them. So I see them either playing, either being naughty, or being,
Curious.
curious, something or the other. So the other day I was just walking during one of my rounds, I saw children were hovering around the physics lab. They were, I don't know why, I walked in and said, "What's happening?" "No, we won't tell you. There's a surprise for you for the science exhibitions." "Okay, fine." So,
Okay.
and that was right across from class 6 to class 12. They were all working together.
Okay. So that's very good.
Yes.
So when
One other way of doing this is also the various trips that we organize.
okay.
Yes. There also, children from right from say class 8 to class 12, they're traveling together. When children travel, it is a different kind of bonding. They look after the younger ones, they look after the teachers. So it's almost like a family thing happens, and it is a memory which is going to stay with them forever.
Yeah.
Till date, my first batch of class 12s or the second batch of class 12s whom I had taken for various trips, they still come whenever they come to school. They talk about, ma'am, every time we meet we talk about the geography trip. We have to.
So, any particular focus you make when you do plan these trips so that it becomes a memory for the children?
See, our educational trips are always the main focus is to have a collaboration. So it is not only whenever we have sent children for trips, it was not a geography trip. We had sociology, we had economics, we had applied art, all the in fact now we are planning a trip where will have even physics, biology, chemistry, all of this together across the various streams. And nowadays we don't have streams. We have children taking all kinds of
All kinds of,
subjects,
yes.
right? So all of them will be traveling together, going to a place, exploring that place, come back with experience, right? So the focus is always to bring the children together. This science, before the science exhibition, I had sent the children to the various science museums around the city.
Okay.
So they went and they came back and they shared, and it is based on which the science book is building up. It will lead to the science exhibition.
Okay. So when these type of collaboration works initiatives are taken up, what do you feel? How many percentage of the students are part of it?
See, we try to engage each and every one of them, because until unless everyone is working together, there will be certain people who will be only doing the work, right? It happens. That's why I told you that you will find each group that I have, the group of teachers handling a particular area of the school, they are new. It is not the same person repeated.
Yeah.
So, the best way, unfortunately, to have everyone participating is to assign some amount of marks to the work that is being done. So the rubrics it's created where the participation, the engagement of the children. So there is a leader, and these leaders keep on changing. It cannot be the same person doing the work. These leaders look into it that the work is uh, you know well distributed. The teacher essentially, the most important thing about collaboration is that we have clarity of the work that is going to be done. There should be clarity in the instruction that is given. Everyone should be allowed to pitch in with their ideas. One person should not be overbearing, even if the person is a leader. The role of the leader, I feel today, is just to provide a platform for the others to grow. So similarly, as a leader, the other day someone came and told me that, ma'am, I've taken these 10 students to work for this. I said, no, what you do is that you create 5 groups. You take out 2 students from each of this the group that you've created, and put them into 5 groups, and have a mixed bag of students, including children with special needs, right? So eventually, as I told you, that they all come together and build on something which leads to learning, leads to collaboration, and leads to a lifelong engagement with each other, not only in terms of the academics, beyond books, in terms of their life skills. Every time we have this kind of collaboration, they learn to cooperate, they learn to listen to each other, they learn to be patient, which is something which is almost dead.
Dead these days.
It's dead. Patience is something which it happens. I've seen that, okay, do this work, I'm there with you. This patience happens. We have a large number of creative workshops happening in school. Our children participated in something called the Kia Fest, and children were coming for practice throughout throughout the summer vacation. They did not say
Okay.
anything, and parents were extremely supportive. I saw the kind of collaboration that happened there, right? So it is, you cannot restrict the collaborative ideas or the feeling of collaboration to your classroom. It has to go beyond the classrooms.
Today, if we are not wrong in saying, students themselves are also creators. It's not the teachers.
Absolutely. Teacher are just facilitators.
Facilitators, yeah.
We just sit back and see what they're doing, right? And provide
Guidance
some
to them.
suggestions, some here and there.
Guidance to them.
Absolutely, guidance to them.
So, is there any incidents you have come across while teaching that today, say, a topic teacher has discussed, and another day the students come up and have questions? This is there. I don't accept this idea.
Yes.
So there are a lot of children coming up with this because internet, Google is
Definitely,
there. They
definitely.
scroll through and
And
then they
I
come up with
remember when
ideas.
I was teaching way back in 96. I started my journey with APJ in 96. Even I was teaching before that. So I would be asked questions, and it is not very smart to say. I would rather say it is smart to say that I don't know. I will come back on it. And that point of time, Google was not there. I think it is more challenging for the teachers today, because any topic that you talk about in the class, children are there. And now, if they have their digital
Devices.
equipments with them, they're going to check immediately. So I think the teachers today, I know definitely technology is a facility, but then technology is a difficulty for them as well, because it is not restricted to them. Every time, even a child of class 3 will Google and tell you that this was it. And we allow them, we'll tell them that this is what we are going to discuss. Suppose solar system, I'm going to discuss. I tell them that this is what we are going to discuss. And each of them is given a topic that you find out. Right. What is a dwarf planet? Why is Pluto no more a planet? All of these are given to them. They research and come back, and it is so much easier for the teacher to teach. It happens automatically
It's
because
a
they are
way of discussion in
yes,
class,
by
not
way
a
of
just.
discussion. No,
It's not an
no,
intake and
not at all,
from
not at all.
anyone. So now, if we talk about the current mode of education and all, every day there are new things coming up and new challenges that come up to this. So, if how do we ensure that whatever work and efforts teachers are doing behind every project and every work since years you have been doing, it's a legacy that has been carried along.
Right.
So, is there any process currently that is available in schools? I'm not just not talking about APJ schools. I'm talking about in general,
Hmm.
where the because there is an ample amount of resources that gets
Of
created.
course, of
Even
course.
NAP wants the good school, yeah, facilitated schools to help the other schools who are not with
Definitely,
good resources.
definitely.
So, is there any way, any gap there in schools where we can add value, where resources can be utilized, previous resources can be saved for the next generations to come in and learn from it?
See, like we save our photographs in cloud. Similarly, each and every school, whoever is creating it, it is not, suppose, as a teacher, if I'm doing something, being a geography teacher, I'm referring to my subject only. Suppose the river system. If I have created, some kind of a uh, content, it is not for that particular class. It is something which is created for the all the geography teachers. They
Yes.
can use it right across from class 3 to class 12, wherever required. So it always stays, and we keep on building on it. Right. Now, I don't know about other schools what they're doing, since we are into this digitization mode, which is coming in a big way. We plan to have it properly stored. Because why so? Because today I may leave the school, but that should remain in the repository of the school. So we are trying to create that.
So, how any particular process that you are applying, or you're buying, you're having any tool or for that resources?
This is a process which is being looked after by the management. So we are in talks, because the digitization, this content creation has started this year. As I
Okay.
told you, with the fifth
Okay.
year,
Okay.
teachers were doing it, but in a big way, moving away from any other external agency. We are doing it ourselves. So we are still in the process of having a platform where we can be
Okay.
keeping all this. We are
Okay.
looking
So
into
that
it.
is
That
necessary.
is a
That is
necessity,
necessity.
definitely,
That is a
because the
necessity.
way technology, AI, the way it is getting into education, this is something which all of us need to be equipped with.
So now, when we come to the pitfalls, if we talk about collaboration and we talk about children's collaborating, teachers collaborating, everything is never a rosy picture.
No,
There are a lot
definitely
of
not.
challenges coming in, and you
Definitely.
have all sections of parents, you have all types of children in your school. You have the naughty ones and the good ones and everyone. So, what are the challenges that in general you face?
With the teachers, I would say not resistance, but then sometimes it happens not only with the teachers, it happens in all groups that are created, that someone becomes overbearing.
Yeah.
There could be too much of information. Suppose there is a group of 10, so everyone is trying to pitch in. So to filter so much of information and to get the right one
Mhm.
could be a challenge. Also, sometimes, as I told you, that especially with students, if someone is not is a recluse, or not so verbose with the ideas, may not be heard, And these are the main things, I think. As of now, I feel that is the main thing, that sometimes there is too much of information, sometimes there is not a, whoever the participants are, whether it's the teachers or the students, not everyone is allowed to speak, or not everyone is given the respect that is desired in a collaboration, because collaboration is all about listening to the other person, imbibing their ideas, and then have mutual respect towards it. If we don't have that, it's very difficult to work. If it is going to be me, because we have moved away from that me thing, it has to be us,
Yeah,
right?
it
It is
has
no
to be
longer,
us. It
it
has
has
to
to
be
be us.
us.
So that is something I have not faced much. I've seen the younger lot of people who are coming in, they are very, very well versed, but the seniors like us, we depend on them, right? So I don't have any hesitation. They see the leader of the school, I always tell him that, I have to have happen to have a position. I always been a teacher, I will remain a teacher. So I have no qualms of learning from the younger ones, and I learn from them every day.
So that passes on to the younger
Yes, of
generation
course,
also.
of
So
course.
it's no
And
longer
my
a top-down approach.
no, never,
It's
never, it
no
cannot
longer.
be. It cannot
It
be.
cannot be, because earlier it was from the top. Whatever has come, you have to
So
follow the same
that
rule.
was that was a very high,
Old school,
hierarchical old school
old
thing.
school. So now it has
Now it
changed
is like, just
completely.
as I told you, it's a participatory thing, all decisions taken together. Any important decision, I call for a meeting with my teachers, and we discuss together, and then we come to any change of timing. Any, for example, we changed the, it used to be like previously, like humanities, commerce, and science, but we have moved away from it, the stream and everything. It is like subjects, and I have students who have taken physics and maths and accountancy and business studies, because wants to have all the options open.
So one more thing, just when we talk about the streams and all, these days, even on for when we go for a higher studies and all, we do not have a particular stream. A child who is into physics, she can also take economics with us as a
Absolutely,
subject.
absolutely. My son did.
Yes, so this happens. So now, when we come about the interest, so we say that world is digital. We have a lot of tools. Children are using ChatGPT. They are getting their details and all everything. So now, interest-based collaboration, if we talk about that, primarily, if I have an aspect that children will get more interested to collaborate if they are working on a topic which they like to do. Another aspect is that bringing the children with common interest in the school
Together.
together. So say if I'm interested into working into social service, so maybe in class 3 you are having 4 children, you are having 6, 2 in 6 or 10, 12. So like that you have a different number of children. Bringing them together and making them work together. And then again, but you have APJ school also numerous branches.
Yes.
Send this branch children or in a particular interest they are, and then collaboration between the different branches
Definitely,
and all.
definitely.
How do you think if we can have something which facilitate this will help your
See,
school?
as I told you, one big way of doing this is the club, right? They always go to their areas of interest, right? One can do it through the clubs. One can do it through the various departmental heads. When they are talking to the children along with their departmental teachers, they are able to identify the interest in child. Many a times, which is, I think, it's a hindrance to teachers as well as students, that a child wants to do humanities, but the parents wants the child to do science. Right now, I have one of my ex students in IIT Kozhikode. She was a topper for science, and she did English from Lady Shriram. So
Okay.
when I told her they're going to Lady Shriram for English, she said, yes, ma'am. My mother wanted me to do science. I have done science. I have shown her that I can do this. But now I'm going to do my own thing.
Their own interest develops.
Nowadays, you will find that, in our times, though I did not listen to my parents, in our times it was mostly that, you know, whatever the parents would want the child to do. But now it is like parents are also more aware. One way of easily finding it out is the career counseling. We have career guidance done in school, and not really the regular ones. We have associated ourselves with a particular organization where Dr. Amrita Das, when she comes to a school, she talks about varied other areas where the children can actually go in. And I've seen This year, for example, I've seen many students going for data science because it's an emerging field. I saw many of them going for neuroscience. It is like um, they are going, it is not typically a medical degree, but the ones who are using it for understanding the the ones who actually does this uh, autopsy and all, so they're going into that also. So this entire gamut of uh, career options is something which actually tells us children where they're going into, where they would like to go in. And so the career options, when you have career fairs in school, when you have people and coming, and also what I do is that I ask my ex students doing well in life, traveling and coming to the school, they go and speak to them. One of my ex-student, very renowned in the field of commerce, Sanjay Khemka, he came to the school, and we have had many, professionals coming. But the excitement that we had with Sanjay coming in was the most. Class 11s will not let go of him.
Okay.
Sanjay Bhaiya, how did you do this? And Sanjay Bhaiya, how did you do that? So the immediate connect was he being an epigen, that he talked about the teachers who they could see that some of them are
So how his
still there.
upbringing have been in this school.
Yes,
So
yes.
then
So when he
students have
talked
a
about the school, so
confidence.
immediately the school children feel there is a connect. So that is one way.
So, do you think if you have anything in schools where this collaboration can be facilitated on an automated mode, where children's teachers and students, right now it's the teacher identifying the children's interest, it's the principal, it's even maybe some senior student is identifying the interest of a junior teacher, and then collaboration between one school to other, it's in an automated mode, will help schools these days?
That will be a new idea. We
Hmm.
have learning management systems in school. As I told you that our we have moved away from external agencies when it comes to content creation. We are doing our own things. But this sounds interesting. This is a new thing because it has always been a role of the teachers to find out the areas of
Yes,
interest,
yes.
and children coming and speaking to us about their areas of interest. And as I told you, when class 8 onwards, it's more about the career choices they are making. But this looks like something new and interesting, could definitely be of help, so that
Yeah,
their interests keep on changing, right?
yes.
Whatever they were interested in. I have quite a few chefs in my school. We have a particular club where every Friday we're looking forward to what this particular club is doing. And believe me, most of them are boys. There are about 30 of them in that
So
clubs.
today cooking is not only
No,
no more females.
no,
It's more boys than
no.
girls.
It's more boys than girls.
It's a it's a one to one
Yes, and
thing now. It's coming up.
when we have these different programs, previously it used to be a few teachers who are doing it. Now everyone gets into it. And the younger lot of, especially the younger lot of teachers, boys and girls, I still call them boys and girls. So, they are interested to participate in everything, that go down and have that fun thing that,
Okay.
we are doing it together.
So one more thing I was just wanted to discuss with you. We just discussed about career choices, and you
Correct.
have people coming in for career counseling to the childrens and all. There is one aspect where childrens, for preparing for their higher studies and for the admission, they need their portfolio to be built.
Correct.
They hire people outside the school to build their portfolio, and it's expensive, it's not that cheap
Of
also.
course.
Do you think that if we can have a system in schools where the student's journey gets captured and their portfolio is automatically created, so which
And
doesn't
which will be AI generated?
so it's AI generated with the communication and interaction and engagement the children are doing with each other, so that itself creates a portfolio on what projects the child has done, what type of debates, discussions, what type of things their child has
So,
gone
what you're
into the
talking
schools.
about, we have something called uh, Nomi file.
Okay.
But that was a
Manual driven
manual
thing.
driven thing, which,
Uh-huh.
suppose, as a class
It
teacher
also
of
has a
class 1,
limitation. Huh?
yes, as a class teacher of class 1, the child writes and I
Hmm.
write my comment and I pass it to the class
Yes, yes.
2 teacher, and it goes up to class 12.
Yeah, that we
So
have also
that,
been doing. Huh?
yes,
Huh.
so if you're talking about it, it is, for me, it is like Nomi file in a digitized manner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Digital's Mind, Nomi
Because
file, which is in your day to day school activity, whatever you're doing, it
right,
is getting captured. And the best
correct.
moments, you can just save it to be your portfolio part, and you don't need a person to do that portfolio thing.
And these are important because too nowadays, when you're applying abroad, and even the various universities that we have in India, the renowned ones, they're asking for a portfolio. And whatever, not only academics, what they have done beyond
Beyond
academic,
academics is
that is
more
also more
important.
important
More
when
important.
you're applying abroad. I've seen with my son that
Mhm.
whatever, whether he had done dias or whether he had done some social service, whatever, everything was there. I don't know why he kept it, but he kept it. Everything was there, and it mattered. It mattered that academics is there. What is this child or what is this student doing beyond academics? That is very, very important abroad or even today's time in within Indian
Even when you go
universities.
for employment, they want to see
Yes,
what you have
yes,
been as a student in the
yes,
school and beyond schools. That is
yes.
also something which they look forward
Because
for.
it is not about only your particular skill, it is also about life skill today. We are always looking for a person who will do a little more than the subject, isn't it? So
There's
as,
10 to
as a,
6 job, more than 10 to
yes,
6 job.
yes,
We want
yes,
them to explore. So when
definitely.
being an
So
entrepreneur, I say,
as I told you,
uh,
I'm sorry,
uh,
I'm cutting you short. I have two teachers who are into two different subjects, but they are my grooming experts because I've seen them. They're extremely well spoken. They dress very well. So they are my grooming experts, not only for my students, for my teachers as well.
that's good.
So, that is a skill which is beyond the in the academics, and that is like a lifestyle skill which they can transfer to the others and which will help
Yeah.
their next generations.
To sum up, if I talk about, so your school basically is more focused into adaptation and into accepting the change as the world
Yes,
is
yes.
changing. And if you just visualize 10 to 15 years down the line, how do you see this technology taking over schools?
See, there is always a scare, right? I remember when computers first came into India, I was in my school, so everyone thought that all jobs gone. When, IT, all these things happen, all jobs gone. No, they will create new jobs, even with AI. AI is still a gray area. With, the Google and other things, we have started using it and we are not scared anymore. With AI, what I feel is that, we can leverage the expertise of both the human beings and as well as AI.
It's a
Right? It
collaboration
is a
between AI and
collaboration,
humans.
and there's no need to be so scared about it. It is more about equipping the teachers. If you are training your teachers, if they know what exactly they are doing, and CBSE has most number of virtual workshops with
Hmm.
AI for the simple reason that this is something which is the future of education. So we need not be scared about it. We should, you know, essentially equip ourselves and see AI as a tool which is going to help us with things which human beings have been doing. Suppose data, we have been analyzing data, but AI will help us to do it
Faster,
faster.
faster,
But
better,
then
and
analytical thinking, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, that is all there in human beings. That can never be taken away from them, and that will always be needed.
how to play with the data, what prompt has to be given to let
Yes,
AI answer you. So
right.
these are where human intelligence works, and AI cannot think
Absolutely.
on those lines. So if we say, we can just sum up that collaboration today is not just doing group projects in the class.
No.
It's more of living collaboration. It's
For
more
me,
of
the best thing about, I mean, if I think in terms of music, I think if you look at John Lennon, he was an exceptional musician. If you look at Paul McCartney, exceptional musician. But what they did together was magic,
yeah.
right? If you, yeah, I would always suggest everyone to have a look at this documentary in Netflix. It is a short one, 1.5 hours. It talks about, or it shows us the collaboration that happened within the most famous pop stars of the time when the song We Are the World was created. It is an amazing experience to see the collaboration between Michael Jackson to Whitney Houston to, I think I'm forgetting the names, but then almost all of them are there, right?
Okay, that's great. Anything you'd like to add on as we conclude to this?
See, since you have mentioned the word that it's not just work, it is a way of life. I feel collaboration every time. Our lived experiences are collaboration. The fact that we are talking together is collaboration. When we go back home and we are having a family time together, it is a collaboration because we are exchanging ideas. Through collaboration, what every all of us, especially students, learn is to respect each other, to be, as I mentioned, to be patient, to have the capability of accepting others' views, and then bring something new to the table having worked with it together.
That's right. Thank you, ma'am, for all your insights.
Thank you
I
so
think
much.
it
It
will
has been,
inspire a lot of schools,
I
lot of
hope so.
educators,
It has been a
and
wonderful experience, and it's rare that we get to sit across people and talk about these things because it is something which we are living right now in school and otherwise. But it is wonderful to talk to you about it.
thank you
Thank
so
you so
much, ma'am.
much.
Thank you.